Welcome to the Andy Meadows Show. We've got a good roundtable coming up where we'll discuss my home invasion scare, the war in Iran, funny wine names, a roller coaster riding mom group, cursing on the news, the Druski Kirk feud, and more. But first, your headlines. In an effort to stop the war in Iran, Egypt, Pakistani, and Turkish mediators have sent Iran and the U.S. a peace proposal that calls for a 45-day ceasefire and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. However, neither Iran or the U.S. have commented on it yet. Iran hasn't because it's hard to read a PowerPoint when you're being bombed back to the Stone Age. And the U.S. hasn't because Trump spent the weekend truthing F-bombs and threatening war crimes. What happens when the two best players in the NBA face off? You get an instant classic, Saturday night's Spurs Nuggets game featuring Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokic resulted in a 136-134 overtime thriller for Nuggets fans and a gut punch for us Spurs fans, especially those of us who have been preaching about how Wemby's already the best in the league and Jokic ain't shit. Kanye West is attempting a comeback with new music dropping recently, but pressure is mounting to pull Ye from his headlining role at a summer music festival because we, of course, hold our musicians to higher standards than the elected officials and billionaires who run the world. Can we all just admit he's crazy and move on? Plenty of great tunes were created by nut jobs. There's a shortage of tailors in the U.S. now, brought on by retiring tailors and dressmakers creating a demand for skilled sewers, something I am not, as I learned one day in home ec class when I sewed a needle through my finger using a sewing machine for the first time. Chris, did you ever go to home ec class?
Yeah, but I don't think we sewed. Maybe that's why there's no tailors.
And I don't think that, and I don't think they have home ec class anymore, by the way. Early this morning, the Artemis II mission entered the lunar sphere of influence, where the moon's gravity becomes stronger than Earth's. This will send their spacecraft speeding up for a close-up look at the moon, marking the first time astronauts have been this close since the Apollo missions over 50 years ago, back when, as Chris likes to say, women knew their place. Isn't that how you put it?
Yeah, but also it's interesting that you claim that we went there 50 years ago. Do you know how many people I've found out are idiots on my Facebook feed?
That don't believe we ever went to the moon?
They don't believe we're going this time. Like these pictures are clearly AI of this round Earth.
So you have a lot of conspiracy theorists on your Facebook is what we're learning.
Yes. And it's people that, like, originally I was like, yeah, this girl's probably pretty well educated. And now you're like, wow, she is dumb.
Please welcome to the round table the funniest guy in our family, according to everyone but me, Chris Meadows.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
What have you been up to?
I've been alone. I'm still alone in a padded room talking into a microphone. That has been my life for the last week or so. My wife is off visiting family.
She's still out of
town.
So
I got to do the taxes this weekend.
Oh, that's fun.
Dude, it's the stupidest thing. I hate it so much. You spend 2 hours pushing numbers into the computer, and then it spits out and it says, you got to send us another too much money. And I pay more in taxes than Donald Trump does. How is that? How is it that I have to pay more in taxes than Donald Trump, who made $3 billion last year?
See, the fun thing
doesn't pay a dime.
The fun thing for me is I use a CPA because mine isn't that complicated anymore, but especially when I was doing more music stuff, it was complicated, and I didn't want to screw anything up, so I started using a CPA. So I go into everyone having zero. I could get $5,000 back. I could owe $5,000. I have no idea what's going to happen. So it's kind of exciting.
I always owe. I know I'm going to owe. I always end up owing because, you got your regular job and then you got your side money coming in and the side money adds up throughout the year and then you got to pay stuff. But what gets me is how stupid it all is, because one year the IRS thought that I messed up and they sent me a letter and they were like, hey, you included this, which you shouldn't have, and so you owe us another $400. And I was like, if you know this, why am I the one telling you? You apparently have all the information. Just send me a bill.
Yeah, that's what I've always thought. Why isn't it the other way around, where they just every year we get a bill saying what we owe, or we get a check saying, with our return? Why do we have to go through this whole? Where you're scared?
TurboTax, H&R Block, lobbying the IRS to stay that way. I guess I don't know, man. I feel like it could be a postcard in the mail.
When I first started doing my own taxes, I was so scared every year. Like, what if I'm messing something up? And then when you do mess something up, they just send you a thing saying, hey, you owe us some more money on this thing. And you're like, oh, okay. And you pay, and you get no extra penalty, I guess. I mean, that's what happened.
Well, I mean, there's probably, it's usually a very small percentage of whatever you underpaid, but yeah.
Oh, so get this. We thought we had an intruder the other night.
Was it the ghost? Did the ghost come back and break into the house, Sandy?
Possibly. So it's 3:30 in the morning, and we hear this, something hit one of the baby gates. So sometimes I put the baby gates up around the kitchen, so when we're cooking, the kids don't come in there because Madeline's touched the stove twice.
Right.
So we hear something hit one of the baby gates, and Jill goes, "What was that?" And immediately I'm like, "That's probably the cat running around being silly." And she goes, "The cat's right here at the end of the bed." And I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Oh, man.
Not good. And so I go, "Do I get the gun?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so as I'm going to get the gun, she's looking at the monitor to make sure one of the kids didn't get out of their bed. And
right, because you definitely don't want to shoot a toddler.
Right. Yeah. That's good information to have before you go walk into the house in the dark with a gun. And so I'm racing to get, and I have a pistol or a shotgun, and in my head, in that couple milliseconds, I'm like trying to decide which one to get. And in my head, I'm envisioning, like, if I have the shotgun, that's easier and less likely to shoot something you don't want to shoot. But somebody could wrestle it away from me, was my thought, like in that sleepy phase. So I'm like, so I grabbed the pistol. So I'm walking around through the house with the pistol and my iPhone, like trying to see like I know what I'm doing, like checking every corner.
Did you bust in like?
Yeah, all the places where there could be a person hiding. I did the whole thing where you go around the corner like I knew. But I wasn't that scared because I really didn't think somebody was out there, because Frisco's pretty low crime to begin with. And I didn't, when you walk out, I can see both our doors, front and back door, from when I walk out of our bedroom in the living room. So I could see both of those weren't messed with. There wasn't a window broken into. And we just seen something on the monitors if they'd broken into one of the rooms. So I wasn't that scared, but the part Jill thought was the funniest is she's like, "Why did you put your pants on before going out there?" And I'm like, "You can't confront an intruder without pants on."
Oh, yes, you can and should. You absolutely should. You see a naked, like me, a big naked fat guy coming at you, that's like, okay, I'm in the wrong house.
See, you sleep
Why
naked,
is he aroused right now?
I think
he's clearly getting off on this.
I think it would throw somebody off if you come out naked holding a gun. But I wear boxers to go to bed. So to me, I don't want to get in a fight in boxers. You know what I mean?
So you assumed somebody was breaking into your house, and you take some time to get dressed, and then contemplate which weapon you want to bring with you outside.
That's Jill's beef. This is the second time since we've been together through the whole time that we've had a situation come up where I had to go grab a gun and investigate, right? And that time, all I had was a deer rifle, and it took forever for me to get it set up. And she's like, "We're dead. We've been dead. If there's somebody out there, we're dead." And this time was the same thing, because I had the gun ready, and I knew what to do there, but the fact that I stopped to throw clothes on is what threw her off this time. So she's not very confident in my ability to to handle.
So you were sitting there like loading a hunting rifle last time this happened, and you're trying to get the bullets in, and yeah.
Well, yeah, and at that time it was a bolt action hunting rifle. So if one shot,
You got the scope you're trying to use while you're.
I need you to back up a little bit. This is hard to do with a scope with you this close. Yeah.
Oh, so do you know what happened? Scary. What was the noise?
No, I'm assuming it was either a critter that ran to hide under something, because I never saw. I thought maybe it was a rat that got in or something, because it was definitely bigger than a mouse. Because you could. I mean, we were sleepy when we heard it, but you know how you can kind of we clearly heard something sizable hit one of the baby gates, and that's why I thought it was the cat running, and didn't realize it was there and ran into it. But
you should probably have brought the shotgun if it was a rat,
Right. Yeah, that was my fear. It's it's going to be a rat, and I'm going to, I have a 9mm you can shoot pretty quick. I'm going to put a couple shots into a rat in the middle of the night, scare the crap out of everyone, and get the cops called. Sir, why did you unload a clip? It was a large rat that I was very scared of. So, do you think the war will end today?
It was $4.99 over the weekend here.
I know we're getting close to my. Remember my prediction of $5 or the Epstein files unredacted coming out.
Stop being crazy bastards and open it straight up. Trump called for it from the toilet on Saturday night or something.
Yeah, we're going to get into that some more because I got a hilarious clip coming. But my thing is, Trump's core objective of the war has been achieved. It was distracting from the Epstein files long enough for most of the American public to move on. You know what I mean? The news cycle's moved on. So
Bondi's replacement said there's nothing there. We're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah, which he had said that prior, so he pretty much got the gig probably because he'd said that prior that everything's out and we should. But
I'm not forgetting, Donnie. Where are the files?
Plus, he got the side benefit of helping his family and friends get a little richer. So he's accomplished everything he needed to accomplish with it. I thought in that big address to the nation that he was gonna. I thought there would be some news in there. I was like, oh crap! I hope he's not sending in troops. Was my first thought. I thought it was either going to be that or he was going to say we won, everything's done, and we're out. But he really didn't say.
He has said that a couple times.
But then
we won, it's over, or we're going back and right. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know why we started. I don't know why we're there. I don't know any of it. I just know it's bad, not good. People are dying. That's not good.
Yeah, and our troops are there's a lot of American troops now in harm's way because of it. So, did you see the Army raise the enlistment age to 42?
Yeah, I just missed out.
Yeah. Well, which
so
is never
close
a good sign.
I'm 43 right now, so.
Yeah, I'm 47, so they don't want my old ass. The last time we did that was the Iraq War, so that is another thing that makes you worry. Why are they doing that?
Yeah, but also, I've been 42 just a year ago. I don't think I had the ability to go into boot camp at that point. That's a young man's game.
Yeah, no kidding. So our top comment here, let me share my screen. This is a guy I played basketball with. You probably remember Chris Settle.
Yep.
Yep, played basketball with him in Junction, Texas. Junction Eagles. Watched a kid. Oh, so this is when we were talking about how some colleges had switched to oral exams to combat kids using AI to cheat.
Right, because you said they're wearing glasses that just let them sit there and cheat through their eyes.
Yeah, or watches, or some of them probably sneaking their phone to be able to do it. But he said, watched a kid run an anchor leg on the mile relay from his smart glasses, meaning he recorded it or live streamed it. They are currently banned in UIL activities, which I didn't understand. I asked him in the comment section. I didn't understand how that would give you an advantage recording the relay, maybe seeing. It's probably, trying to see how he did his handoffs and if he needed to do something different. But
Oh, okay. But yeah, I could see why they ban it because it's weird.
yeah, that's what I said. Does it give you an advantage? And Chris said it gives someone's zero competitive advantage, but I'm guessing filming the back end of your competitors without consent is where the line was drawn. So he's picked up. By the way, he's a coach now somewhere. I can't remember where, but he's coaching sports, which makes sense because he was good at basketball and football.
So you're telling me with these new smart glasses, I'm going to see a whole lot more videos of just random everyday life? Because already I see people doing things and posting it, and then you're going, why were you filming this interaction with a random receptionist when you went into the kid's school? Why are you filming this right now?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Because basically, the trend for the past decade or longer has been when anything goes down, everybody grabs their phone out to make sure they capture it so they get the viral video.
But you
so
don't know that when you're
gonna
walking into your kid's school to talk to the receptionist, why are you filming that?
Right. So now you're just going to have to assume that people. I mean, I kind of just like I used to tell on-air people all the time, like when you're in a studio, just pretend that you're on air, because there have been so many times over the course of my career somebody got fired because
the mic was hot.
Because the mic was hot and they didn't know it, and they said something incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah.
That it's like, I hate it, man. It sucks, but we got to let you go because you said, something incredibly sexist or racist or
something that was probably hilarious, to be honest.
Oh, the best one I heard. There was when I was a program director for a station, and I was real young, and so some of the folks were angry that their boss was half their age. I was out at a live broadcast, and the engineer didn't know I was out there, and so he's saying through the talkback mic to the on-air talent, talking smack about me, just saying all kinds of terrible stuff. And I was there, and I just chimed in and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, crap." I didn't do anything because I thought it was, people vent about their boss.
Yeah.
So
you can't fire a guy for not liking you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nobody'd work for you.
Yeah. Oh, did you? So the song "Choosing Texas" by Ella Langley, right?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, it's the biggest country song right now by far.
That would explain it. All my country stations are in Fairbanks, so I haven't been listening to the country lately.
So big deal here. She filmed the music video for it. I mean, this is such a popular country song. It's crossing over to Hot AC, Top 40, even though she's super country sounding. I mean, she sounds like Loretta Lynn style country. I mean, she's really country sounding. I love the tune, but it's crossing over. That's how popular it is. And she recorded the music video for it at the Stagecoach Ballroom in Fort Worth, which is a really awesome honky tonk that's been in the same family since the 70s. I've played there a couple times with my big band, and it's this super cool place. So that's the big thing everybody's happy about, because you couldn't buy that kind of marketing because the videos already had 10 million views. Plus, it's kind of cool to see the place that I've played a couple times. When we played there, because I played there with the big band where we do Sinatra to Bob Wills, so we do a lot of jazz stuff. And so some people saw me when I was putting up the poster for it. They're like, "You're going to play there with a jazz band? You're going to get your ass whipped, son." It's like, nah, they'll be fine with it. We got a fiddle and a steel guitar. They'll be cool. But what's the favorite honky tonk or dive bar you've ever been to?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's one in Fairbanks called the Midnight Mine. That's downstairs, little dive bar. It's a cool one. I'll put that as my favorite. The Alaska one.
What's that one we went to in Astoria where they the term Shanghai people the term Shanghai people, he got shanghaied. That's a term that means back in the day in Astoria and other parts of the coastline in Oregon, they would, if a loud out-of-towner tourist got drunk and was being a ass, there were trap doors they'd drop them through, and they'd land in a ship below, and they'd wake up on the way to China. On a ship, like working on a ship.
This can't be true.
Didn't plan on working. That's the story. So there's a bar in Astoria. You haven't been there? There's a bar in Astoria where there's a trap door back from when they did that.
You
don't believe that they
BS.
actually did that? Ask Rob.
No, I'm sure that the trap door is there. I just think the story is probably made up.
It's well known that not necessarily just that place. That was a thing that happened back in the day.
And they're like, okay, cool guy, come stand right here for a second.
Dude, when people are drunk, they're pliable. I bet you $20 you can't stand right here and stand on one leg.
Back a little bit more. There you go. Stand there.
Speaking of drinking, do you think they named Menage a Trois wine just so douchebag guys, would use it as a soft sell to their wives on a threesome?
I mean, probably. Or maybe there's 3 people that make the wine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how many morons have held up a bottle of Menage a Trois wine at a party being like, anyone Menage a Trois? What are the names they passed on to land on Menage a Trois wine?
Orgy.
I don't want to say the F word, but F Fest. Don't want to say the F word, although. So update,
just in case mom's watching.
On we talked about cursing on the news and how a couple episodes ago how I believe there's been a big uptick in people cursing on the news.
That's what you've been saying, yeah. Like it's just okay now.
Yeah, it's just part of the deal. So Jake Tapper got to drop the F-bomb multiple times thanks to Trump
tweeting
tweet.
out. Well, you were saying that used to they would go expletive deleted, expletive deleted, expletive deleted things, right? But now they just read it out word for word.
Yeah, Exhibit A here.
Are watching, be warned, the president did not use polite language. Quote, it will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards.
I don't know why it's so funny hearing the news guy delivery saying
the way they deliver the words.
But isn't that crazy? That's just part of this is the world we live in. You're just going to have to say.
It's like you are reporting the news. This is the news. I'm Ron Burgundy.
An official statement. Yeah, when that one was crazy enough when I saw it Easter morning while we're getting ready for church. I'm just scrolling through my phone. I see it. And now I'm in the habit of, because people do a lot of screenshots where they change the words.
Yeah.
Now. So I'm in the habit of anytime I see one that's really insane, I go somewhere else to double check. And sure enough.
You have a Truth Social account?
No, I don't.
But did he really say this? Let me go retweet it out.
No, but what everybody does is they screen grab it and they share it to Facebook or they share it to Twitter or
right. Yeah, and then you could change whatever you want to with Photoshop and then put it back up and make it seem like Trump is not crazy.
Yeah. That was nuts. I think I don't know if you were on the episode where we talked about roller coasters hitting harder when you're older.
I mean, it's accurate.
I don't think you were on that episode, but I have an update on that. My sister-in-law, Amy, has a mom group, a group of moms who love to ride roller coasters.
Cool.
And so much so that they've got like season passes to Fiesta, Texas, and they all go, just the moms, to ride roller coasters. Can you still do roller coasters?
Yeah, I can still do roller coasters, but they are like, you could feel it more when you get off of them nowadays.
Yeah. See, A, they beat me up a lot more than they used to. And B, like some of the ones that like the Six Flags here, there's so many G-forces like the Titan that I almost pass out when I'm going around. Like my eyes start to,
Yeah.
which I always thought was Jill makes fun of me because I'm like, I think it's a tall guy thing, and she's like, that's just an old guy thing.
Okay.
Because I was like, that's why they won't let us fly fighter jets, and she's like, I think that's because you don't fit in the cockpit, moron. I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably it.
I'm at the cusp of fitting on roller coasters sometimes when I'm heavier. I'm like, oh, it squeezes you down. You go, okay, that's about as big as I can get if I'm going to keep trying to ride rides.
What's real fun when you're a big guy is being the third in a group. You know how there's two to a seat, and so the third guy has to ride with somebody else, a stranger, and then the stranger's like, "Oh, great, I get to ride with the big guy that spills over the seat that you're going to get extra beat up for because when you go around the corner, you're gonna."
No, I'm padded, so it's cool. It doesn't hurt as much, and you go around.
Does this happen to you? It always seems like I'm singing the gayest song possible when I round a corner and run into somebody like a stranger. Do you sing everywhere? Like I sing constantly?
No, that's a you thing. I think that's not everybody doesn't just walk around singing to themselves.
Oh, really? I thought a lot of people do that.
I don't think so. I think you'll find more people don't.
I try not to do it in public, but I subconsciously do it. Like if I'm not thinking, I just start singing some dumb song. And now, especially if the kids are at the store with me, I'll sing to them to keep them occupied, and they'll sing back. And people think that's hilarious because Annie will be singing at the top of her lungs.
Some gay song.
But I'm always singing something like really fruity or like Oklahoma and a hurricane. Well, that's not fruity, but fruitier than that. It's a show tune, so kind of.
Yeah. Well, any show tune's a little fruity, but
that happens to me at the grocery store.
The new word is zesty for that, by the way. I learned that from my 11-year-old friend.
Oh, we can't say gay, right? We got to say
gay is not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
zesty.
We can't say that, but you can say fruity though, can't you? I thought you could still say fruity.
I guess, but the kids won't know what you're talking about. You got to say zesty.
Zesty. All right.
No cap.
Did I ever tell you the look like you shop at Walmart story?
No.
So when I was working an office job and Jill was working in construction, we would get off of work, and she's been walking houses and talking to contractors. So she's been doing real work all day. And I've been just sitting in an air-conditioned office in business attire. So
sure,
we were at Walmart, and the guy working the register was Zesty.
Okay.
See? I'm evolving. I'm learning, Chris. The guy was extra zesty. And he said to me, he goes, "You don't look like you shop at Walmart." I can't do the voice, though, right?
Oh, you could totally do the voice.
I can do the zesty voice?
Yeah. Okay. You don't look like you shop at Walmart.
Yeah. But then he looked at Jill and he goes, "But you do." Because I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And so I would bring it up all the time that Jill looked like she shops at Walmart, and I don't. That was one of our favorite eternal jokes. Hey, did you see you've seen the Druski Erica Kirk video that came out like a week or two ago?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm still kind of salty about him doing whiteface, but we'll get past it.
Man, talk about a phenomenal makeup artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is kind of because he's a larger fella, so it is kind of comical. And I get why someone would be a little angry because it's not the most flattering depiction of a female, but
but it's satire, so I mean,
it's satire.
Yeah,
it's just a joke. Do you think that's played up and manufactured a little bit to get him publicity, or you think this is all? Because I've seen a lot of the back and forth, her threatening to sue, and I didn't know if all that was true.
I mean, I would assume that that's true, but I don't think you could sue for satire.
Yeah. Look, Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, you get away with. There's definitely, you can get away with that when it's clearly a bit. Now, if he would have, that's why they're going at the angle of like. See, I hate saying this because I don't know if the stuff I'm seeing on social is true, but somewhere I read that she or Vance or somebody said that one of their kids said thought it was really Eric Kirk, which that just makes it look even worse.
Your kids are morons.
Because it's so clearly not. I mean, it's so clearly. But he does the eyes really well, because she does this creepy stare. And he does, that's what makes it. Oh, and the part where there's a black guy in the background and he's talking about how it's really white boys who, built this country. The country is built on their backs, and the black security guards back there like making funny eyes. So I thought it was hilarious, but I think that guy's super funny. So
I think it has the Streisand effect you're talking about. Is the more that we're going to sue about this, we're going to do that, the more it gets seen.
Yeah, like that Tallarico interview on Colbert. A lot more people saw it because the overreaction to it and the canceling it.
Yeah,
made it get more views. Have you ever had to tell a coworker they smell bad?
I have not, no, but I do. I was in the room when the discussion was being had on how do we do this.
Because it was you? Was that why?
No, it wasn't. No, I was a consigliere. I was a sounding board for what's the best way to approach this, and I was like, I don't know, just gift some deodorant.
Yeah, so how did they approach it?
I think he just went straight at it, head on.
Yeah.
Like, this is a problem. You need to deal with your hygiene. If it's medical or something, I understand, but I don't believe that it is. So
yeah, see, that's how I had it later in my career where I did it, and I just was upfront and straightforward about it. Early in my career, I had a female worker who was a really attractive young lady that wore some weird perfume that made everybody nauseous. So it was probably to cover up some other bad smelly thing, something that was going on. So the perfume was like so bad that she would walk into a remote and the client and people would be like, you got to get her out of here. This smells so terrible. So I could not come up with the way to do it. Like I didn't know how to say it to this person that wouldn't just like crush them. And so I pawned it off on somebody, a female coworker that was like,
you're like, it can't come from me because I'm a guy. So you.
Yeah, I wasn't mature enough to know how to handle it. And she was like, here's how you do it. And she handled it. And it seemed like it came from probably a better place for her to hear it. But she, the lady I asked if she would do it had no problem because she's like, couldn't stand the smell either. Yeah, I thought she'd probably chomp it at the bit. Hey, did you, when you remember when we were kids in high school and mom would ask us to run to the ATM because she didn't know how to work the ATM?
She never asked me that, I don't think. Maybe just you.
Oh, crap.
Why, did you steal a bunch of money from mom?
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you ever take a cut?
That's terrible.
What's it for running the errand?
Just a little 20 off the top.
You can't take a piece?
Get a little taste. No, so when I was a senior, Dad was working in Oregon. So it was me and Mom, and I was slowly teaching her how to do things like, you don't have to write checks at the store, You can hand them this piece of plastic and then just sign for it, and it's done.
Yeah.
So she's gotten much, much better. I think Facebook is what took her into the digital age finally, is that
Facebook
she wanted
and Words with Friends. And
Yeah.
being able to see all her kids and her grandkids' stuff on Facebook, I think.
But I think
Got her
before
over
that,
the
she did not know how to use a computer.
technological hump. So our anonymous question, where is my thing?
You got a little spiel for it? Oh, dude, I told you don't do that when it's creepy.
I know. I'll redo it.
Oh.
Sets a perfect tone. Sarah in Oklahoma asked, wasn't sure who to ask this, but I'm sure you guys have a take on it. Just moved in with my fiancé and found out he regularly pees in the shower, the same one I use. Wasn't aware that's a real thing. Is he an anomaly, or do all guys do this? Do all guys pee in the shower?
I don't think all guys do it. I think all people do it. It's a pipe. They're all connected.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I definitely wouldn't say he's an anomaly, but definitely in the minority. I'd encourage her to
think
watch.
you're wrong, dude. I don't think it's a minority.
You think the majority of people pee in the
The
shower?
majority of humans urinate in the shower if they're mid-shower and need to pee.
I've known a woman that admitted to doing it. I've known a couple
you're
guys
saying
that
you
say
hop
they do
out
it.
of the shower if you got to take a leak and then get back in.
Yeah.
You're lying. You're
No, I
a
totally do.
liar.
I'm old enough to know when I have to pee. I don't get in the shower if I'm going to pee. I go. Plus, my showers aren't very long. I pee before the shower, poop before the shower. You don't poop post shower. That's the dumbest thing
that's
ever.
you screw up your whole day if you poop post shower.
But you pee before you get in the shower. If you get in the shower and you have, unless you're hammered. I mean, I could understand if you're hammered getting in the shower and peeing. But you pee in the shower?
I have, yes. If I need to go and I'm in the shower, I'm going to go.
And Stacy's cool with that?
Yeah, we have a double-headed shower, so, I never go when she's in the shower with me. Come on.
So that's your suggestion to Sarah in Oklahoma is have him pee on you in the shower and see if that's your thing. Is that what you're getting into?
Give it a go. Never say never.
I would encourage you to watch, Sarah, I would encourage you to watch the Seinfeld episode where Costanza, this issue comes up. Because Costanza's not the only shower peer. Isn't that where he argues they all go to the
They're
same
all
pipes?
pipes. The pipes,
Yeah.
they're all connected. It's all going to the same place.
And Elaine is like, different pipes go to different places. Yeah, I think it's gross, man. Plus, you're getting pee on the other parts of the shower. I don't know.
It's the shower.
I guess if you're
I'll pee in the sink. Why not?
if you're accurately pointing it right down the drain, maybe it's okay. But other than that,
I'm not saying I do it every time I shower. It's not like I wait to pee until I get into the shower. But from time to time, if you're in the shower and you got to go, you go.
I was getting the vibe that you were super into it, and that was why I can only pee in the shower. Do you have any recs or rants? I gotta shorten these up; they're too long. You have any recs or rants?
No. I finished the Billions this week. I was wrapping that up. It ended okay. It ended like they were gonna do spinoffs, and I think that's what their plan was. But I looked it up afterwards, and they're all canceled. So,
Dude, that's the worst thing is when a show ends on a cliffhanger and they don't, or it's like a season cliffhanger and then they don't get picked up for the next season.
Netflix is really known for that. But no, this one ended satisfyingly. It wrapped up all of its storylines, but then it was like, oh, we're going to launch a Billions in Miami. I think that was the ending. Oh, hell, let's go to Miami. It's the next fresh place. And then, so yeah, they were going to do Billions Miami, Billions London, Billions whatever, and they just...
Taylor Sheridan effect. Everyone thinks we got to leave it open in case we do 15 frickin' spinoffs of this.
The Frisco King.
Yeah. The my rec is do you ever watch Diary of a CEO, the podcast?
I've seen a couple of the episodes, yes, or listened to them more accurately.
Yeah, I think it's freaking phenomenal. I really like that Steve Bartlett, the host guy. I think he's great. I think he sounds super intelligent, does a really good interview, and you can tell that he prepares well for him. But there are a couple episodes where there was one episode I was watching where it was an AI expert, and I get an hour in and I'm like, this guy's making a lot of good points. And then somewhere in there, he was like, asked him if he thinks we're living in a simulation. And he's like, yeah, I totally do. And I'm like, God dang it. I gotta
what? I mean, the odds are that we are living in a simulation. I mean, clearly.
But it sucks because it's like I just wasted an hour watching you, and that kind of negates everything you said. But most of the time,
you can't let one bad take ruin the good.
Yeah, well, it does. It does.
I mean, it's not like he said the Earth was flat.
I mean, it's like some of Rogan's guests. He'll have a guest on that sounds like, oh, decently intelligent, and then they'll say one thing that like moon landing was faked or something, and you're like, oh, great. Now I wasted all this time listening to you. But most of what I like about the Steve guys, he does push back more. Like I've seen him on episodes where somebody will bring something up and he'll call the person they're talking about. So he's clearly connected with a lot of people, and he has some huge names on there. It's a really good friggin' podcast. And
yeah, Rogan doesn't push back on people. He just laughs and goes along. And really? Oh, yeah.
Well, to his credit, he has, because he caught a ton of flack for that after the Trump interview.
Right.
And his thing has always been like, that's not what I'm for. I'm not a journalist. That's not, I'm just a professional shit talker. But he does have 29 million subscribers on YouTube. He realizes he is the most recognizable media figure in the world right now, according to research, because so many of his little clips go everywhere.
Yeah.
So after the Trump interview, he did start to push back a little bit, and you'll notice they're doing more of the real time stuff. Like he'll talk to his producer Jamie, and he'll say, "Jamie, look that up." They're doing more of that than they used to do.
Like fact check this a little bit?
Yeah, he's doing more fact checking than he used to do, which is, I'm assuming, probably because he got so much pushback over the Trump thing. And they all are starting, you can tell they're starting to regret the fact that they publicly endorsed him because of some of the things that are going on. So there's a whole lot of
what's happened? I haven't heard.
Well, and I have a different take as someone who didn't support Trump from the jump. I have a kind of different take on people coming around to it. Is I don't think you make them feel guilty or weird or whatever. I think you accept them better late than never.
I think it's good to get out from under the spell.
Yeah. So I think you welcome. I think you welcome people and don't say, well, they supported them and now they're just now coming to. Hey, at least they're seeing something for what it is, as opposed to continuing to. Because a lot of people double down. They don't like to admit they're wrong. They don't like to.
Most people do.
Yeah, I haven't heard him, because Theo Vaughn's. You can tell he's doing that too. He's starting to
back
around.
off a little bit.
Tim Dillon definitely. I mean, Tim Dillon very openly now talks bad about Trump, and he supported him as well. So a lot of them have kind of changed their tune. But
yeah.
Some folks
it's it's not their fault that they believed him.
Right.
Yeah.
You got conned. I mean, it happens. So nothing wrong with admitting that and moving forward. But yeah, you could tell, because I think the turning point for Theo Vaughn was when they used a clip of him in some of the ICE propaganda videos. I think that's what really which would piss you off.
Yeah.
But he just went on Rogan's podcast, and they had a pretty lengthy exchange talking about Iran and talking in depth about it. You can tell they're both kind of regretting, it sounds like to me.
Maybe did they say that, or are you reading into it now?
Yeah, might be reading into it. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for today's show, unless you got something else.
No, I'm happy.
All right. Have fun in your padded room. We'll be back next week with a new episode of the Andy Meadows Show, now available on your favorite podcast platforms as well.
Cool.
Oh, I have a close. Hee hee. Ah, dang, the time's wrong on that one. Disregard the time listed.